Alan, say it one more time.
Like Alejandro,
yeah.
but shorter. Alejo.
Alejo. Okay.
Segundo bloque de este especial Star Wars anual
sí.
de Tecno. Saben que la película de este año es The Last Jedi y obviamente tenemos material especial para
Por supuesto, tenemos entrevistas con los protagonistas, las fuimos recopilando a lo largo del año. Nosotros coleccionamos todo, agarramos material inédito y este es el material exclusivo que tenemos en TN Tecno para compartir con ustedes este anticipo de Los Últimos Jedi.
Everybody set. 3, 2, 1.
Action.
Something inside me has always been there, but now it's awake. And I need help.
Llega diciembre y eso significa algo muy especial para los fanáticos de la Guerra de las Galaxias. Sí, hay una nueva película. Este año llega el turno de Los Últimos Jedi, la continuación del Despertar de la Fuerza, la película en la que conocimos a Rey, a Finn, a Poe del lado de los buenos y al malvado Kylo Ren, el hijo de la princesa Leia y de Han Solo. En Los Últimos Jedi, Rey busca adentrarse en los misterios de la fuerza de la mano de Luke Skywalker. El misterio es si el legendario Jedi va a aceptar entrenarla.
Happened all these years with Luke. Why did you say no more Jedis?
Well, I was surprised that they let any information out in that trailer. That's the only story point in that whole trailer. They don't really tell you much, but when Luke says that, it's got to be jaw-dropping to Star Wars fans because Luke was always the most optimistic character, the most hopeful character. So to see him say something like that, that's so radically different than what we've seen before. And I think that's what I like about The Last Jedi. It feels like no other Star Wars movie that I've seen or been in. But that's, I think, good. I mean, at first I thought, well, this is too different for my liking, but the surprise is good, especially when the audience has knows so much about all the characters, more than I do at this point, because they've seen them more recently. I haven't seen the movies since they were in the theaters.
Really?
Yeah, I don't watch them on video or DVD or whatever. And so my son says, "Dad, stop embarrassing yourself because I will get facts wrong." You know, I took a Star Wars trivia quiz and failed, and it was multiple choice.
And without like a proper training, you fought against Kylo Ren. So now, with Luke's training, will you be like the greatest Jedi of all time?
We do not know that Luke trains Rey. That is something that people are assuming. And also what I...
But you, Daisy, do you think that Rey, if she gets trained, she will be awesome?
She will be awesome. She's great. What I think is wonderful is like when people say when mothers can lift a car, like when you're put in a situation where someone you love so intensely is in danger, your body does insane things, your mind does insane things, you can channel all this stuff you didn't think you could. So it's funny because people talking about no training and everything, but to all intents and purposes, she thinks Kylo Ren has killed Finn. And obviously that promotes a reaction, and suddenly it's on. So I think that's it was actually a very emotional fight, that was.
Set, here we go, stand by. And action.
Camille said to you that he didn't like what you did with his character, but he told me that he changed his mind, and I heard some big shots said that this is the best look ever.
I heard that.
Are you proud of that?
Well, I'm really proud of Mark's performance. I mean, I'm proud for Mark. I think he gives an extraordinary performance in this. And I think that it's, you think about the fact that Mark has lived with this character for 40 years and how big a thing this is, a defining thing in his life, this character in these movies are, I think it's impossible that somebody could put a script in his lap and he could say, yep, that's exactly what I imagined. So I always knew it was going to be a process and a conversation. I always knew that, you know, it would be weird, honestly, if he read what I wrote and said, yep, that's exactly what I pictured.
Awesome, let's start.
Awesome, let's go, this is it.
Even though I had reservations about how they decided to use Luke, I came to trust Ryan so deeply that by the end of the film, I realized that he was right and once again I was wrong.
Al ser esta la segunda película de una trilogía que arrancó con El despertar de la fuerza, muchos especulan que Los últimos Jedi pueda ser un clásico moderno pero también oscuro, como El Imperio contraataca. Lo peor de todo es que podríamos ver otra vez cómo ganan los malos.
How are you gonna leave a mark in the Star Wars universe?
I don't know. I didn't come into it like thinking in terms of, you know, how do I leave a mark on the? I just want hopefully the only way I leave a mark is by making a good Star Wars movie. That's like my only goal coming into this was I love this so much. I love these characters. I want to do something that feels right. I want to do something that feels like Star Wars. And even though it's the middle chapter in a trilogy, I want to give audiences, I want them to walk away satisfied and feeling like they've had a full meal emotionally at the end of it. That was my only goal.
Reach out. What do you see?
Light. Darkness.
If the Force Awakens felt a lot like A New Hope, will The Last Jedi be dark and awesome as The Empire Strikes Back?
Well, because it's the middle chapter, it is the chapter where, in my mind, you have to slow down a little bit and dig into the characters, which is what Empire did as well. And it's going to go to some dark places.
It's similar in a sense, but very, very different in terms of its dark tone. Definitely darker, because it's the final frontier for the Resistance. They're not in the best position. They're very weak right now. The Republic are not pumping money into them as they used to, so it's not an easy fight.
I think it's quite dark. Ryan was able to go in a number of different directions from where that started, and I think the direction he took was perhaps unexpected but freaking awesome too.
La primera película tuvo mucho de presentación de personajes. Ahora, en la segunda parte de la trilogía, finalmente podremos conocerlos un poco más y descubrir su historia, su pasado y sus motivaciones.
Do you know more about Finn's past in this movie?
Yes, definitely. And it's important because he's going on a dangerous mission. And same with Rey, just to get to discover, you know, where they come from, all these questions that the fans have. Won't all just be answered in 1 second, but gradually you'll start to understand, you know who these characters are.
We assume Finn is not a Jedi. We assume. But will you keep swinging a lightsaber?
That's what's so funny. What I've realized on this press tour is that I thought that once it was revealed that Rey has the Force, that we'd just be done. But every time, till today, I still get this question: Is Finn a Jedi? And I'm like, oh, I thought this. Maybe not. I don't know.
Your character, is she a true believer of the First Order, or she has like a dark side in her?
Captain Phasma is part of the First Order, which is obviously the dark side. I think it's very interesting to explore what moves characters into that area. Why is it that that's the way in which they've chosen to go? Why is it that they've chosen to reside there? And the film explores more of that. I think what we saw in the previous film is with Kylo Ren, we saw an exploration and explanation of why he was in the position he was in, of why he'd chosen to go there, why he'd chosen to go to the dark side. I think it will be interesting to see more of that Star Wars world explored. Certainly in this film, it feels like they go deeper with the characters. We explore more of the relationships.
We find out more about Rey's past in this movie.
What's interesting is people talk about the past and not knowing where she's from, but in The Force Awakens, we did see the flashback to her scratching the days of how long she'd been on Jakku. So her past is, we've sort of seen it. She lived, the life she lived on Jakku was literally what she did every day for as long as she can remember. If you're talking about family past, we find out a little bit more about that.
Are you a proud father?
I'm proud that I'm still here and I made it through because it was grueling. Let me tell you, just getting to the top of Skellig Michael was, I said, can't we get a helicopter? Because we took a helicopter to the island, and I said, why do you land at the bottom? Land on the top.
Fulfill your destiny.
Star Wars fan?
I've been a Star Wars fan since I was 4 years old.
How did you make such a lousy, like a Wookiee sound?
Oh, there's something. I can't be. I was concentrated on his hair. It was so pathetic. That was so bad. Yeah. And now it's captured for the world to see.
I know.
I can't do it even now. I don't know what it is. I don't have the bear-like quality in my throat. I don't know.
Ryan needs to work on his Wookiee sounds. It's ridiculous. New director can't even just learn a Wookiee sound.
You do it. Give me your best. Come on. No. You put me on the spot. Now you gotta do it.
I'm a journalist.
Okay. Oh, you're a journalist. Well, I'm a filmmaker. I don't need to Wookiee.
Everyone's favorite former stormtrooper, John Boyega.
So, how do you feel about being a fan favorite?
You know, the love is nice. It's really, it's great support, but it feels genuine. It basically doing everything they would do if they were in this position, and I feel like it's a responsibility because I want people to look at me and be like, you know, if I was in that position, that's what I would do. Kind of live through me like that.
Fans love you for your character, Brienne. Will they love to hate you from this character?
It's quite a good one, that, isn't it? Love to hate. I wouldn't mind at all if with this incredible Star Wars series of films, if I started to inhabit that space. I think there's something very exciting as an actor to explore different territories. And that's been part of the pleasure for me, is that it's been wonderful to play a character who is truly, it seems, from what we've seen so far, truly good and truly connected to a moral compass. And then to play a Star Wars villain is a dream come true.
Bueno, chicos,
Claro que
esperamos
sí.
que hayan pasado bien
Claro
esto.
que sí.
Es verdad lo que dijo antes un rato. Fuimos recorriendo el mundo lentamente, Londres, Estados
paciencia.
Unidos. Durante el año estos materiales generalmente se prohíbe que lo publiques hasta este momento en donde
Se
acabamos de
guarda y después, cuando llegue el momento, se publica para todos ustedes. Tenemos estas entrevistas.
Bien, amigos, llegamos al final de este nuevo capítulo de TN Tecno. Esperamos que lo hayas pasado bien. Acordate que podés ver este y todos nuestros programas, como siempre, en Rabioso HD en youtube.com/TN Tecno y nuestras existencias digitales.
Están en orgulloner.com y además en tn.com.ar/Tecno están todas las noticias. Como siempre, TN Tecno is powered by Empanadas Don Antonio y Helado Farichi.
Nos encontramos la semana que viene entonces con un poquito más de TN Tecno.
Tu momento nerd de la semana.
Chau.
Ay.
Revoleme la mochila.
Sí.